Who are we to disagree with our next guest? He travels the world and the seven seas. And now he's embarking on a new business venture, Rare, which is why he's here to talk to us about that. So we're on the same wave as the oh so brave. Please welcome, always a fave, Dave Stewart. How's it going?
Well, I had to stay up all night to be at this time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, Dave.
I'm the opposite way around to you.
Yeah. Are you based in the UK then, or have you been?
Well,
Are you just a night owl 24/7?
I just never seem to get to sleep till about 3 or 4 in the morning. So today, or tonight, or whatever it is, I was like, F it, I'll just stay up all night.
Please don't swear, Dave, because we're live on the radio. Sorry, I apologise.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Did they bleep it in time?
No. Aussie Jane really likes her job as well, that's the thing.
Sorry, everybody.
No, it'll be cool, don't worry about it. So, AI, you're here to talk about AI, you're here to talk about Rare, this company.
I didn't know I was here to talk about AI, but I will if you want.
Well, no, it's up to you. I mean, I got this message about Rare. Find out more at thisisrare.com.
Yeah.
So I went onto the website.
Yeah.
And it's already amazing. It's already like a design classic. Mm-hmm. And so there are certain things on there, like for example, I'm doing all this as we speak on the phone. There's lots of things lots of different things going on. So companies already sort of part of it. So It Goes is a company that's signed up. Resonate with a Z has signed up.
Yeah.
And this is all about, like, don't fear it, embrace it before it embraces you. Is that about it?
Well, the whole company's not really about AI. It's about almost the opposite, really. But I'd said in another interview before, when everybody was, like, trying to be King Canute, stopping the wall of AI.
Yeah.
That's an impossibility, It's here. It's like when there was steam engines, and then there was electric trains. I mean, it's great having a steam engine, but there was no way you're going to stop, So, no, the company is really about fairness to fans, creating entities that are experiences, bringing people together, all sorts of things, like Sonic Sphere, which is one of the companies which is becoming very popular in a smaller way, where people just go to listen to vinyl, and sit in like nice, cozy places. Started off a lot of it in Japan, actually. But this is on a much bigger scale. It's a giant sphere, I suppose, where you go and hear music, and that is mind-blowing, kind of. Can't really explain it. You have to experience it.
No, I get it. I've seen pictures of the big one, and you'd literally have to climb up a gantry to get in it. Well, here we are. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but I mean, you see, music obviously is a huge healing force. As you know, you've been doing this for years and years. Actually, I had a laugh before I came here because I was like, oh yeah, Chris, yeah, I remember various things. But I remember I did this really mad thing once. I decided to dye my hair white, wear glasses similar to yours, wear all the wrong kind of, clothes, like a checkered shirt and stripy jacket and everything up.
Please, you can't.
Sorry.
It's just that we're live. We're not allowed because of the law. Because
I know.
Sorry.
Well, they can, arrest me. The word ice you can have.
Sorry, Dave.
No, that's all
I know
right.
it's only normal.
So anyway, I remember we were hiding in the dressing room across the road to TFI Friday, right? And I had Kylie Minogue, Natalie Imbruglia, and Sinead O'Connor in wigs to do backing vocals, but we didn't say who they were. And I looked like nuts, and I was singing a song that was nuts, called Happy to Be Here. It's like bonkers. And then Brian Eno playing Omnichord, and I just watched it on YouTube, and I was like, oh God, what a nutcase. Well, I still am, but But it was original, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, that night, that band was amazing. Was Elvis Costello on bass guitar that night?
I don't think so. But I mean, the three girls was like...
It was absolutely amazing, Dave.
It was nuts,
It was so amazing. But the thing about, the thing about you doing for the fans, tell us about that particular aspect of the website, because that is so important nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Planet Fans, actually. So Ben from Mumford & Sons, he sort of co-founded it. And, okay, so let's talk about the whole world of artists, creativity and fairness. So, and the fans also fairness. What's happened is everything's been sort of homogenized by giant corporations and everything. I mean, food, whatever, And I was actually, during COVID, I was on this sort of long, 3-week-long, 50 people on it, special kind of, almost like a FaceTime with 50 people from all different industries, talking about what would happen, like nobody knew when it was going to end or whatever. And at the end of the whole thing, and you had heads of airlines and, farming community, there was one thing that came up that everybody wrote, which was just go local. Yeah. Right? So what's happening is smaller venues, places near you, buying stuff from the local shops, and there's a wave of that coming. Well, in a similar way, artists, they want to sort of have some direct sort of connectivity with the fans and vice versa, So Planet Fans allows that, and also the fans get a better deal, better ticket prices, better merchandise. And the artists start to understand who their fans are,
Yeah.
And so this is happening not just in the music world, but in independent filmmaking, like all sorts of things, like, films that seem to come out of nowhere, like Adolescence, the series, or Anora, films like that, and films from all over the world that people weren't watching before, like Swedish films, Italian TV series. People have started to realize, hang on, outside of Hollywood and outside of these ginormous worlds, there's really interesting people, and that's what Rare's about, is finding really interesting creatives and then nurturing their work, and then eventually having an engine to provide all the wherewithal to get it up and running. And it's not the other way around, where it's like, oh, let's search for a massive star that's breaking out on TikTok and quickly sort of hurtle them up the charts, and then they end up all sort of messed up. See, I didn't swear.
Yeah, thank you.
And, this is about, long-term goals with all sorts of interesting things. I mean, I've been, as well as being co-founder, contributing some of these sort of experiences. One I love, which I've written, called Floating Upstream, which what I've been doing all my life, going the opposite way to the traffic, There's a great book called The Blue Ocean Strategy, which is about that, how, if you divide the book cover in half, there's always people in the blood red sea chopping each other's arms off, and there's a couple of people sort of swimming in the blue ocean.
Yeah.
And so...
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, so that's like, this is a kid's experience, young kids like 5 to 10 maybe, and all the stories in it and the songs in it are about, like, you don't have to sort of like, and just because you're shorter than this person doesn't mean that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's allegorical little tales, and that'll be sort of... Right, so going back to AI, okay, let's talk about that for a second. You see, it's there, and it's another tool, like a drum machine, I got all sorts of stick when, Sweet Dreams and the drum machine and all that stuff, and I'm a guitar player, as you can see. And lots of the time I was playing bluesy guitar and just noodling about in my house. But when I first saw a drum machine in a shop, I went, oh, that's interesting. and obviously then was born Sweet Dreams, Love is a Stranger, all these songs. But it doesn't mean that I have to be like locked into a drum machine the whole time. I work with all sorts of live musicians. So when you are doing a huge project, AI can be interesting, like, oh, how would I build this, and how do I make this work if it's a female singer or whatever. But what I do is then I'm going to go, all right, then I'm going to write the whole thing and go and rehearse with people and have like a theatrical situation, and then we're going to employ all these people, just like, you know, when you have in theatre on Broadway or whatever. So it's not really a replacing talent or jobs or anything. It's just another way. I mean, like when Sweet Dreams was a huge hit in America, then you're employing all these tour managers and road managers and musicians, and, you know, it's just an entry point. Obviously, it's going to kill us all in the end, but like, before it's done that, before that I see that robot running down the street with a hatchet, I might as well create all these wonderful sort of entities, as we call them, and let people enjoy themselves together as opposed to sitting at home. I mean, I read something the other day about kids spending more time indoors on the phone than they do when people are in prison. People in prison, they get out, they have to walk around the yard, they go to the lunch, they go to dinner, and, you know, you'll see kids, no, it's all right, I just stay indoors and, like, you know, and do everything on the phone, which can end up disastrous results. Well, there's a great book called The Anxious Generation where you can see it happening, you know. Yeah. It's we could go into mind control and the depths of like how awful everything is at the moment, and has been going that way for a long time. But this is something I, you know, in a small way, an antidote, you know, like getting people together, having meaningful songs or meaningful moments, and that's what I've always been interested in. In fact, eventually, you know, I'll be creating artist worlds where it's literally everything is away from all of the other structures. And I started thinking about that in 2001. In 2006, I met with Visa for 2 years, because this woman called Janice Vandenbrink, now she created VisaNet. And I read, well, hang on, they swiped the card, and she was working for years to get it from 1.7 seconds to 1.4 seconds. You know, you see people in the grocery queue going, God, taking ages, that machine. And it's going around the world, hitting all these banks and going, yeah, you're fine, take the groceries, and they know they're going to get paid. Well, in the music industry, for instance, or in the film industry, it'll be like 9 to 27 months it used to be, and you still didn't know what it was. And even now, there's all these convoluted, you know, it's like a tube map, looking at how artists are meant to get paid. It's like, you know, and when I was showing Visa that, drew it like a tube map, the CEO, Christopher Rodriguez, he said, that could have only been done on purpose, right? Because it didn't make any sense. So the food chain obviously was getting larger and larger all the way along the line. So Resonate, which is another company which works with producers and also has sort of pulling apart and working out the payment systems so that artists actually know where they are.
Yeah, so they can find the needle in the haystack.
Yeah, so they can understand what's happening in their lives.
Can I ask you about, at the beginning of Eurythmics, talking about finance, is it true that you had to borrow $5,000? Did you go to a bank to borrow $5,000 to start Eurythmics? Is that a true story?
It's absolutely true, yeah, because, see, Annie and I, we lived together in a squat on £8 a week between us, and we were in this other band called The Tourists, but we didn't write any songs or play any songs in that band at all. And when that band broke up, you know, we didn't really, we didn't have anything really to create something. So I knew I could get about 3 or 4 things in my bedroom, and that's what Half a Sweet Dreams was made on, the album, in my bedroom with little dramatics and like a Roland Space Echo and little bits and pieces, and a Tascam Porter Studio, which is brilliant 4-track cassette tape recorder. And then it's like, right, now what do we do? Right. So I said, why don't we go and see a bank manager at Barclays Bank in Crouch End? And then he was like, he's going to take one look at us and think we're nuts,
What a story.
So this friend of ours, Adam, who understood the equipment we needed, had cut and pasted, and we stuck it in a book. And I went to see the bank manager with Annie, and Annie sat there looking terrified. And the bank manager was a bit worried about the two of us because we did look a bit eccentric. And I explained, you see, if we got that and that and that and that, we could make an album on it. And then the next time we make an album, we don't have to buy it again. We already got it, which we did. We made Be Yourself Tonight, which had, There Must Be an Angel and Would I Lie to You and everything. And we made that in a youth club in Paris on the very outskirts in the Russian Quarter. £8 a week to rent a little room, about half the size of this. So I was always doing sort of wonky ideas to make us think differently, like The Purple Cow. Do you know that book?
No, I've heard of it. I've not read it.
Well, it's how to be remarkable, basically. If you're driving along with your kids in the countryside after you've been in the city, New York or London, as soon as you get out in the country, the kids go, there's cows, for about 5 fields. And then, seen the cows. So you need a purple cow stood in the field, Yeah. So in the Sweet Dreams video, which I wrote this crazy script for, and Annie was great because she would draw it like in a cartoon shape of what I was saying. And in the video, then Annie and I are singing, and then a cow walks in, right? Yeah. And then if you look at one point, the cow's staring at me and it just turns purple.
Beautiful.
And so I was just imagining people in the middle of America seeing, us two, like Annie with a cropped hair, me looking like a nut on a wooden computer, and a cow wandering around a boardroom.
Oh my gosh.
But evidently they liked it.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
No idea
why. We
why.
liked it and we love it, and everything still sounds and looks box fresh. Dave, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for staying up all night. I really appreciate it. You can have a sleep now. All right.
I thought I was going to play the guitar. What the hell?
You can't play the guitar. Will you play the guitar?
Of course.
Okay, we'll bang a tune. Oh, play now. It's here now. Yeah. Yeah, great. Thanks, Dave. I didn't know if you wanted to or not.